right. Yo, what's good? We back with another Top TV. I'm here with Rosh, the ruler, brother sincere, the gold mouth Yogi.
Yeah, peace, Islam, peace.
The Oasis 44.
The Oasis 44, yes. So I started off calling it a wellness center. So what is going to be a community wellness center. So it's going to be an event space as well. So, yeah, that's how it's laying.
I'm glad you came on, man, to share some of your knowledge, expertise in the yoga and health and wellness field. And so we glad you're here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, But before I get started or say anything, I want to first give spiritual shout-outs. I want to give honors and respect to all of the messengers, past, present, and future. I want to give honors and respect to all healers, past, present, and future. I want to give honors and respect to all the beautiful black babies, all the beautiful black mothers, all the beautiful, handsome black fathers. I want to give honors and respect to all of the ancestors and definitely to the creative force that's behind everything. Honors to the Orishas, honors to any divine agency that guides our footsteps. Spiritual shout-outs and an honorary mission to you, my brother. Peace and honor and respect to you as well.
Thank you. Likewise, man. And the Oasis 44 is a health and wellness center that's located in Cleveland right now?
Yes. 6007 Francis Avenue. So that's right off of 55th, right? When you come off the freeway, you're going to hit a left, another left on Maurice, shoot all the way up. That's Francis. Come down. I'm right there. I'm live and direct. Set to open mid-January because I have some beautiful...
So you're doing a grand opening?
Yes. I'm going to have a grand opening in January. Right now, I have 5 super talented artists, including Days One from Red Lion Tattoo Shop that's doing artwork in there. So, man, it's looking nice. Man, this is going to be a really, really.
What can we expect from the Oasis 44 Wellness Center?
Everything. You could come there and get some Reiki. You could come there and get some yoga. It's an event space that you could rent. You got a baby shower, birthday party. It's big enough for all of that. I'm going to have yoga. I'm going to have fresh fruit juices. I'm going to have soups, salads. I'm going to have everything within the realm of health and wellness for the mind, body, and the spirit. I'm going to have workshops there. I'm going to have women-led as well as men-led programming there. So for the sisters that's been waiting on an opportunity to shine in the space to exercise and express whatever their gift, talent, and skill is, that's what my space is for. For men as well, for the children. I'm going to have some days where I just do reading books to babies because I love to read and I love to introduce people to the world of reading. So it's going to be going down at the Oasis 44.
It's going down, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come to the palace, man. Come to the synagogue.
Come on down. Come on down, man. Listen, I'm telling you, it's going to be going down.
Several certifications.
Yes.
Several. So you got several certifications. You also got several. You went to college and became.
Yes.
You know, you got your degrees.
That's
you got your
right.
degrees.
So
It's 360 of them, but you got your degrees from the
exactly.
universities.
So I'm a certified yogi on paper as well as by experience. So I learned initially. I learned comedic yoga, hatha yoga, and siddha yoga. Actually, like from. That's cool.
Yeah.
From.
But no, it's picking up.
Oh, is it? Oh, my bad. So man, pardon me, everybody. Pardon me, everybody. So I actually learned siddha yoga and hatha yoga from actual grandmasters of those spiritual sciences, but that was just basic experience. So then, as I continued to go forward and practice yoga and do this type of stuff, people was really bent on paper certification. So I went and enrolled in some programs.
They wanted the receipt.
Yeah, they wanted to see that I was certified to do what I needed to do. And so there was actually no university in America where you could get a doctorate at. So I'm in the last phase of a doctorate, a natural health science doctorate from Bircham International University.
Congratulations.
But thank you. And so what I found out, that the trick is what happens is that a lot of students who are in med school and they want to become a doctor in America or practice Western medicine, but they know that there's a lot of money and it widens the field in allopathic or holistic wellness. They're getting a degree from over here, then they're going over there to India, and they're going to school over there. So that's how they locking the game down, because you look in a lot of spaces where it's like yoga and health and wellness, retreats, breath work, seminars. Most of the people that's leading these are non-melanated people.
Right.
Because they've spent that money,
they able to travel like that.
Went over there and they got the knowledge.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But Bircham International University offers online courses. It's hard to get financial aid for it, but it is possible. I was blessed and fortunate for some people to look out, and I made some other things happen.
So you went over there, or you went online?
No, I do it online.
Yeah,
no.
No. You ain't traveled over there yet. But will you travel?
Yeah. So I've done.
Because I know you travel all over the United States.
Yeah, I've been to probably 40 different states and twice as many cities inside of the United States. I've been outside of the country 3 times. Yeah, so I was in the DR some years ago, and I did some work over there. I did a yoga retreat over there, and I led some sessions there, and that really opened my eyes, because it was inside of a resort, and the person at the resort that ran it was like, hey, he pulled up on me. He said, what you think about doing something like this? I'm like, I'm in America, this ain't that far, you know, but it's definitely a lot of people checking for it, and especially in the Caribbean and places like that.
What do you think the most successful experience you had with yoga, as far as a client is concerned?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That was like, I'm stiff, or I'm out of shape, or I'm out of breath, or any ailment that they was having.
So, pardon me, I thought I powered both of these phones up. Pardon me, brother. So I actually always enjoy when I'm able to teach the babies. And there's a sister had a program called Queen I Am. And I went and did a session there with some children, with the youth there, and it was a beautiful experience, because I got to introduce children to things like breath work and different poses and postures that they could possibly do easily whenever they're dealing with any stress or tension, anything like that. Because a lot of times that's all it takes. I teach a basic breathing exercise called 3-6-9 breaths. And it's basically like, if you're going through something and you feel yourself getting worked up, take 3 breaths. Now, if you still feel yourself getting worked up, take 6 breaths. if it's still going, and what I learned from experience, it usually don't go past 6 breaths. But it go to 6, go to 9. If it's still there, it goes 9. Then do 18.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And 18 is your walk.
You
see what I'm saying?
That's when you get up out of there.
Because if something is bothering you that long, that you
don't need to be
19 inhales and exhales, and it still got you that high, it really got you high.
It really got you high.
You know.
Can you share your personal journey that led to you becoming a yogi and holistic healer, and what sparked your passion for wellness?
Ooh, buckle up. So I had served time.
Because it wasn't always yoga.
No,
it wasn't always yoga
no,
and holistic
healing. No, it wasn't. You know, I come up in East Cleveland, you know, and I started selling crack when I was 12 years old, you know. So, and I'm talking about, I come from East Cleveland where you could go up on Euclid Avenue in Page right there, and this was the time when they called Page New Jack City, because it like crack was rampant. You wasn't no middle ground on Page, right? I'm from Hayden. I ain't from Page, right?
Yeah.
But when I jumped off the porch, I met a dude, and you know, and this is just something that I gotta let people know real quick. So back in my day, we call older dope fiends unk.
Yeah.
So don't call us unk. We do not. People from my era, from my genre, we do not like being called.
Definitely
unk,
not.
Okay. And so we called this dude unk, and this back when they had food stamps. And unk kind of showed me the game, and when he showed me the game, he took me on Page. But long story short, getting in the game and seeing like dope fiends outside in broad daylight on Euclid smoking a crack pipe like it was nothing. East Cleveland coming down on motorcycles like Chips with megaphones talking about put the crack pipes down. I'm 12 years old in that type of environment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in that type of setting. And so I end up catching a drug trafficking case when I was about 16, 17. But now in the process of this, I always had an inclination towards like cultural knowledge. I had uncles who was Moors, or rather, they was El Rookins. For those that don't know what that is, go do your research on the El Rookins. And I was around 5%ers, Nation of Islam.
So you was in the mix of the knowledge.
Yeah. So I was in the mix of it all. And so but I was in the streets too. So I was trying to balance the two, and I ended up catching a dope case. I went off to Indian River School for Boys. I did a juvenile bit there. I came home and I joined the Nation of Islam, and I stayed there for a moment, but then I ended up leaving. Fast forward, I ended up catching a murder case. I was 19 years old, charged with ag murder with a death specification, and I sat inside the county jail about 18 months fighting the case. It was self-defense during a drug deal gone bad. And so I went into prison already with
a chip on your shoulder.
Well, not really a chip, but some intelligence.
Oh, okay.
You know, I didn't go in there like I was on some street end shit, but I had some consciousness also. You know, so that attracted different individuals. And so I was on the Sunni Muslim thing real tough, but my mind was broad enough to acknowledge knowledge everywhere in whatever form it came in. So there was a brother named CJ, Chris Johnson. He was an older brother. He was from California. And I seen the brother on the yard once in Full Lotus. And if you don't know, listen, you see kids doing Full Lotus. You will see some youth doing Full Lotus, some younger yoga masters doing Full Lotus. But when you see an elder doing Full Lotus, that person has put that.
Explain to me what
Full Lotus is like, so look, a half lotus is this foot in, legs crossed.
Yeah.
Full Lotus is both of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you've been on top of your game, right? And not only on the full lotus, he'll go from full lotus into a headstand and things of this nature. And I'm like, damn, that look interesting. So I pulled up on him one day and said, hey, brother, what's this you be doing? Like, yeah, I'm a yoga master, you know. You'd be surprised at people you meet in prison. You know what I'm saying? I met a dude named Doc, white guy, chiropractor and martial arts expert. You know what I'm saying? So like you got
everybody in there.
Listen, I had
some of everybody.
Yeah, some of everybody. Had a Muslim brother, Abdul Wadu, about 7 foot tall. Man, he unalived the officer with his bare hands and had been down like 30, 40 years. And didn't talk to nobody but seen me doing yoga. And he pulled up on me. He started teaching me Qigong and some things of that nature. And because I had already took like basic Taekwondo prior to prison, it was like, it resonated with me. So between him and CJ, you know, during this journey, so I tapped into the yoga stuff. And then there was a brother named Atwood. He was getting correspondence courses from this sister named Guru Mai. So I tap in with that information. Man, next thing you know, man, we talking about, this is the 90s. This is 97, 98. Yeah.
So, Brother Sincere, so you was able to get in there and, you know, when some people get in there, they going in there with the gangs, they still drinking and smoking. But you took a whole nother path because you was already sort of somewhat on that path when you was out here, except you was getting some money as well.
Yeah, it's like I knew individuals that had been to prison. My biological father did like 30 years in prison. A whole bunch of dudes around me that did time in prison. So I kind of knew certain things to avoid going into prison. And so with that in mind, I attracted older individuals that was still on some righteous shit, you know, so to speak, and didn't mind sharing the knowledge with me. So I embarked on that, and individuals start seeing me on the yard, like meditating and doing yoga and stuff like this, and they start asking questions, and it started to get like popular. Like they be like, the dude that be out there doing whatever that is. Yeah. And I was the only inmate at Marion Correctional doing yoga. The only in 1999. 2000, I was the only one in Marion Correctional.
Because it became kind of popular. It was. I'm pretty sure people yoga is an ancient practice. Yeah. But it became popular around that time. Yeah. You know, especially to brown melanated people.
Yeah, but
in America.
Like it took some years to really get around to us because it was a lot of non-melanated people basically in those spaces. So what I did, like, shout out to master teacher Mawada Ashby and his wife Karen Ashby. So when I was in prison, he is a Kemetic spiritual preceptor, which is like a high level teacher, and a Kemetic yoga instructor of a high level. And while I was in prison, when I got interested in yoga, I wrote him a letter, and he was sending me and my partner's books with a discount. So what I did when I got out, I actually went and found the brother in Miami, chopped it with the brother, got some info from the brother, like tapped in with him. Yeah. And the brother helped me with further knowledge. So I was going actually to find if I read one of your books in prison, I was coming home to meet you because I wanted to see how did you make this knowledge walk and talk. Yeah. You see? So most of the so-called conscious individuals or enlightened individuals that people see online, I've actually met them physically. A lot of the people that I read books by in prison, I got out and I went and met them physically. If they were speaking anywhere, I was pulling up. First to show gratitude, then to get some game.
Let me ask you this. With your background in natural health sciences, what are some common misconceptions about holistic healing that you frequently encounter?
Well, so I also sell sea moss products and herbal products.
I've seen that.
And some people think that after you drink one sea moss drink, you're going to be
healed. No.
You see what I'm saying?
That ain't how it works.
The thing about sickness is this, and I explain to people, always do your research. Don't even trust what I say. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Do your research, because I don't want you to say, oh, Brother Sincere told me. No, you can say, Brother Sincere told me this, and then he had me look it up, and when I looked up, said this. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, do the knowledge. Don't never take nothing on face value. Remember,
that way you can't blame. That way you can't blame nobody out here for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You see, exactly.
and you know for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but some of the misconceptions is that some of us think that we're gonna get well overnight, and it doesn't happen like that. It took a process for you to get out of your health. In 2019, I was 222 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I show people the pictures, like they can't believe it. But I was athletic all my life. I boxed for Power 5. I played basketball. I played soccer.
Yeah.
So it was just outside of my natural build. And I
Mm-hmm.
was able to tap back in to some sciences and some, not diet, but live-it choices that was able to bring me back to homeostasis.
Because it's all about what you put and you intaking.
Yes.
And it ain't just about food intake either.
That's right, because you could watch some stuff and it'll make you gain weight.
Talk about it. Hey,
or mess your health up.
We're going to come back with Brother Sincere. Make sure y'all stay tuned to this TopTv. Yo, we back with another TopTv. I'm in the house with Rosh the Ruler, a.k.a. Brother Sincere, a.k.a. the Gold Mouth Yogi in the building. The Oasis 44 is coming real soon in January. And we going to all tap in there. we going to come get some holistic healing. we going to come down there with the cameras and check everything out.
Oh, definitely. More than welcome.
Yogi wisdom. As a certified yogi, how do you integrate the principles of yoga into everyday life, but personally, both personally and in your teaching?
So, the mindfulness is real important. And I think this is real important for any person who has served time in prison or served time in the streets, you know, for that matter. Mindfulness, being in the moment, being mindful, allows one to clear their thoughts and really understand what's going on in the moment. Mindfulness is a form of clarity out of necessity.
Yeah.
That you allow your thoughts to be still enough in that moment, because the next decision that you're about to make may have such a result on your life that you can't afford to make it in haste. And mindfulness, the practice of it, will then become a habit. And before you make any decision, you'll give a pause.
Think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Don't let it go over your head.
So that's something that you practice often. You let other folks know.
Yes,
it's a free game, y'all.
Yeah, because you know,
free knowledge. It ain't even a game.
Yeah, you know, because I'm not perfected yet. You know, I still struggle with things and have issues, and I get frustrated and anger, you know, and have to do emotional management.
And how do you deal with something like that, where you got a whole class full of people, where you done had a rough day and you got to come in and teach 20 people, you know, and still keep balance and still get everybody else in tune and on balance? So
one of the things that I used to do was ground myself before any event, before I go anywhere to speak, because I used to go into the prisons and speak as well. I've been in several. And I would have to ground myself mentally. And I do that through breathing, but do that through reflecting what I done came from.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if I look back at what I came from, then I'm able to be appreciative for where I'm at in the moment.
Facts.
And being appreciative leads to gratitude, and gratitude gonna make you be mindful of that moment.
Yeah, and that's how you stay grounded.
That's how I stay grounded.
Which unique herbs have you found particularly effective in your practice, and how do they support your various aspects of health?
Oh wait, I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna give the people two. I'm gonna start off with pineapple.
Pineapple,
yes.
The actual fruit?
The actual fruit. Really, we should consume 8 ounces of fresh pineapple, either the juice, the actual juice, or the fruit itself, every day, at least once every day. So pineapple has bromelain in it, and it has other enzymes that do two very important things: restore muscle activity and muscle health after traumatic experiences and strenuous activity. You see what I'm saying? And then if you're a woman or you have a lady, you want her to consume as much pineapple as she can.
Yeah.
It makes everything sweeter.
It makes everything sweeter.
It removes the bitterness from her attitude
and
other places, and her body. It lowers the acidity. And the second one I would say is spirulina, blue spirulina or green spirulina. It's anti-inflammatory. I've assisted in the curing of clients who have had facial lupus using a mixture of turmeric and blue spirulina as well as green spirulina. Spirulina is anti-inflammatory, so it's good for arthritic pains and things of that nature. Yeah. So those are my two go-to. And some cinnamon. Cinnamon does some wonders as well.
Yeah, and this is all stuff that you can get at your local food store, your local health agency, or you can get, your local herb shop.
Or you go to Oasis 44.
Or you can go to Oasis 44 for sure and get it, and you be putting it together on a daily.
Yeah.
You got regiments for people for 7 days a week.
Man, what? Hold on.
You brought some of that product with you?
Man, listen, man.
He brought some of that product with you.
You know I would have been remiss had I not brought something and gifted you with something, brother. So listen. So this here, okay, look, we're going to put it right here.
We're going to put it in this camera right here.
Okay, boom. We're going to bring this right here. I don't think they can see it, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me hold it up there a little bit closer, too.
Go ahead and put that up there so they can see that.
Go ahead and put that up there right there.
Here, look. I'm about to read it to the people. Yeah. So the name of this drink is called "You Are Royalty." Mm-hmm. Okay, because when you drink this drink, you're gonna feel royal. So the name of this drink is "You Are Royalty." So let me run down to you what's in here. We have sea moss, which is for your stomach health. We have green apples, which is for bone strength and is a prebiotic. So for those that don't know what a prebiotic is, because we hear about probiotics, right?
Yeah, what is a prebiotic?
A prebiotic is an enzyme that produces good bacteria in the gut. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it fuels good gut bacteria, which in turn is going to restore health to those vital organs. Okay. You see, so it's a prebiotic, so it's preventative measures. Fresh mango boosts immunity. Alkaline water for hydration and lowers the acidity of the body. A pinch of sugar cane. Now people say sugar cane, put sugar cane there. People don't know that our ancestors use everything for medicine. Do your research on sugar cane, but I'm gonna give you one that sugar cane does.
You can't just use it too much.
Yeah, sugar cane gives you an instant energy boost and it strengthens your bone as well as your teeth. Mm-hmm. And people say, I thought sugar deteriorated that.
White sugar,
processed sugar. Sugar cane contains enough phosphorus and calcium, which are two of the most important minerals in what? Bone and teeth. Mm-hmm. And so I'm gifting you with the You Are Royalty, right?
Oh, man.
But hold on. It don't stop there. It don't stop there. I got another one here. Right here. I'm going to read it. This one is called You Are Powerful. My drinks are named after affirmations, because that's what I want you to think about. What is hitting on?
And it's hitting. And it's good. It's good and it's good for you.
It's good and good for you. You Are Powerful contains sea moss for your skin health, hibiscus flower for your heart health, lemon for hydration, ginger for the anti-inflammatory, black currant for your eye, hair, and muscle health, a pinch of the sugar cane.
He got it in there.
Because it also supports liver and kidney health, and cinnamon, which is for brain health and weight management. And I'm gifting you with that one too, my brother.
I appreciate it.
So you know you good to go off of that there.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know, that's that good product, man, from the earth.
Yeah, straight from the earth. The majority of my products are made with the majority of products that I get from local farmers, specifically black farms. I do use Hood Honey in a lot of my sea mosses. Shout out to Trey from Hood Honey.
Shout out to Trey from Hood Honey.
Yeah, it's excellent honey.
Good brother.
Yeah, I place his honey in my sea moss gels all the time. You know, so if you get my sea moss gels, there's Hood Honey up in there. Shout out to Haroon and everybody at Ridall, because during the summertime, I do get a lot of my fruits, my watermelons and things from Ridall Farms. So shout out to them brothers.
Yeah, Ridall Farms over there on Kinsman.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Big up to them people. Big up to the family.
Let me ask you this, Roz. Working with at-risk youth can be challenging. What unique approach do you use to connect with and inspire them towards healthier life choices?
Yeah, this gonna be near and dear to me. So, if you had a list of every horrific thing that can happen to a child during childhood, you could basically check that box for me. From molestation to sexual abuse to neglect to being in detention centers to being in foster care, you know, the gamut. And so I started to realize, you know, as I began to heal, like, why did I experience all of these traumatic experiences in my life, which in psychology we call ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences. Why did I experience all of these? And usually on paper, everything that I experience is what serial killers and whatnot, you know, that's
deal with.
But I turned out diametrically opposite to all of that. And so to answer your question, I can relate to anything that any youth or child has gone through. They say, well, I ain't had no daddy. Me neither. I had bad relationship with my mother. Me too. I was raised by my grandmother. Me too. I was in detention. Me too. I was in juvenile prison. Me too. I was molested. Me too. I was neglected. Me too. I was poor. Me too. I was around drugs, alcohol, all that. Me too.
I know.
You feel me?
I can relate.
You feel me?
Totally relate.
I can totally relate, and they see that I can relate. And you know, years ago, a lot of my homies would be like, man, Sincere, you be tripping, man, because you be out of town. You be going straight to the hoods all by yourself. Like my first time going to Chicago, all the homies like, you know, don't go to the low end, don't go to the wild hunters, don't do, man, I go straight to the ghetto. I go straight to where all the rappers is talking about. I done went to Chief Keef Hood. I done went through them hoods. Man, I was embraced by the youth.
Yeah.
I done been in Compton, California at nighttime, not like a tourist. You see what I'm saying?
Walking around regular.
I went to Memphis, Tennessee. I went to Young Dolph Hood in Castelia at nighttime. You see what I'm saying? Went in their corner stores, chopped it up with the people in the community at nighttime. Went to the island in Kentucky, that place known as the island in Louisville, where ESTG is from. Very dangerous place.
Yeah.
Hey,
They very dangerous.
Hey, look.
They real country over there.
Listen, man, had I not known somebody that knows somebody, they'd be like, hey, dude, what's up?
Yeah, what's up with you?
But I've been well embraced in every city that I've went to. I've never had any problems. Out of the youngsters, I've been well embraced, and that's how I roll.
Because you're relatable.
Man, I come with authenticity. I'm not trying to get nothing from them. I'm not trying to get them to do anything. You know what I'm saying? I was in Compton, California, man, with 3 little homies, got them to stop and pause for a minute and take 3 breaths with me.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So those type of things is like, I don't need a camera on me all the time to do the things that I do, because this is my life. Like this is what makes up Brother Sincere's life. Every day I'm engaging with youth in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna pull up and pop out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't about always trying to show it on camera. It's just about doing.
Yeah, like, and don't be judgmental when you deal with these young brothers, because I can bet, and I can think back to some of the older dudes was looking at what me and my brothers and my homies was doing back in the 90s, probably looking at us the same way, man.
Because when we was coming up, it was wild, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, the same way.
Yeah, you know, you can't look down on the young people, you know what I mean? Because really they just want love and attention.
Exactly, that's what they want, man. Because a lot of these young brothers, man, they not tough, they traumatized, man. Yeah. They not tough, they traumatized. Yeah,
they traumatized.
Look.
So they on guard all the time.
Man, look, let me tell you this real quick, brother. Oh, when I was in prison, I was part of a mentorship program. Shout out and rest in peace to the brother Najmuddin Salam. He started the program and he transitioned some years ago. Mm-hmm. Beautiful brother, beautiful brother. And so my strong point is always literature. You know, reading and writing is my strong suit. As a child, I had a very bad speech impediment. I couldn't get 2 words out. And so I started writing early on, you know, in life, like writing, you know, because that was my medium for communication. However, so he asked me as a part of this program to do a reading and writing course. And I had these 2 heartless fellas in my class, Jalen and Lil Murder. Man, I'll never forget these. Man, look, stacked together, they probably wasn't 5 feet tall, right? And I'm talking about, man, they was terrorizing the joint, man, terrorizing. And, you know, in confidentiality, you know, I'm not going to say which one, but they shared with me. They was like, yo, OG, can I speak to you? And we chopped it up, and they was like, yeah, man, one of the reasons that, you know, I be on this because my mama had a boyfriend or uncle, you know, and he did X, Y, Z to me. And that shit fucked me up. Yeah.
So it just make you dogmatic.
Listen, so it's understanding this is that in basic child psychology, it is taught that as a result of sexual trauma by way of molestation or sexual abuse during childhood, a byproduct of that is hypersexuality. Yeah. Okay? Or hyperaggression. Mm-hmm. And or both. It's normally only dealt with and addressed when it's dealing with women, though, with young girls. Yeah. You know, why that girl like getting trains ran on? You find out because she was being molested by some men. Mm-hmm. But it happens with young boys as well, but it's not talked about as much.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of swept under the rug. Yeah. It's kind of swept under. And it's kind of like you can't, with that happening to you, a lot of guys that it didn't happen to, it's like you got to be a man still. You know, you got to stand up. You know, and it's a shameful thing for a man. Mm-hmm. You know, they wanted to make a shameful thing for a man to express himself in that way and let people know, hey, something happened to me when I was younger. But I'm getting guys saying that, you know, some of the most stand-up individuals that I know, you know, have been through them type of situations.
Well, look, the stats is like, man, 50, 60%. Yeah. 50, 60% of young black males during childhood have experienced some degree of either it was some inappropriate touching, some inappropriate language.
Whether it was a man or a woman.
Exactly. Yeah, because we got to get out this sexist, chauvinistic type of state of mind. Like, I don't want no 40-year-old sexually intimate with my teenage child. Like, no. You see what I'm saying? But people are like, well, that's crazy. Because there is things that need to develop in him so that he understands what that is before he even embarks on that. You see what I'm saying? What he has in his pants is sacred. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I teach my son at too. Like, he know that he got a penis and that's his sacred area and that only 2 people could touch it. His dada and his mommy. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that's another piece to this. Is that I think out of my trauma and my experience, like I be extra on that with him. Like I have frequent conversations with him, and like I'm fortunate, man. I have a 2-year-old. He had to have been here before, man, because he'll sit there and be like, "This my penis. I'm gonna wash it, and only you and mommy could." Like, so it gives me some type of succor, some type of.
But you giving them that knowledge to know what is that. You know what I'm saying? What's right and what's wrong. A lot of people, you know, especially
wasn't even told.
Yeah, it wasn't even like
they don't even have a conversation.
You know, because the generation before that, it was going on. Real tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, you know something? Man, one of the things, one of the greatest impressions that Tupac ever had on me was when he came up with that song called Brenda's Got a Baby.
Yeah.
Because that song delved so much into something that was taboo, because when he said, now Brenda got herself a boyfriend, but her boyfriend is a cousin.
Crazy.
Now let's just drop the joy in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Yeah, so many.
How many we don't even know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the cousin, brother, uncle, daddy.
Especially at around the turn of, you know, them making sure that the man wasn't in the house and this and that, of splitting up the family.
Exactly.
So it's like, we ain't in the house together no more, or we is in the house together, but now the brother got to sneak around or the uncle got to sneak around because the state taking care of them, or they just not the man of the household no more.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of that took place because a man couldn't stand up and be a man no more.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Right. A lot of that molestation and incest took place because a man couldn't be a man at the time of coming up in that age, you know, where a man can say, well, I got two girls, and it wasn't no shame to it. Versus, you only could bring one woman in here in my household and this and this and that. So now you got 12 nieces running around here.
Yeah, but also
and you secretly sleeping with them.
Yeah, but also this is that it comes from a lot of young black males being traumatized as children. And the old famous words of Bill Cosby, hurt people.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Traumatized people, violate people.
Yeah.
You feel
it's never in a cycle.
It's the cycle. So a lot of that is born out of that. Now, on the flip side, like understanding what masculinity is.
That's what I'm speaking about.
Masculinity. You know, something about the black man in America, our sexuality and our masculinity
is frowned upon.
It's frowned upon, and it's always under constant stress and duress and attention. You know, we see cases of this with Shannon Sharp and individuals like that. You know,
and it's getting worse.
Yeah, like it's getting worse, because I tell you what. One thing that will bring the black man down to his knees, to his ruins faster than anything, is him not controlling his
sexual desires.
He has to control his phallus. Man, I've struggled in that era. Man, I love the ladies, brother.
But see, this is the problem now, because it's like I was not too long ago. I was moving some product. I'll be out moving product. And a guy was looking at a young lady. You know, he was staring at her. She like, what you staring at? And it's like, what do you mean? He's a man. You're a woman. Yeah, he's admiring your beauty. You know, but these days and age, they try to make it make you ashamed of being masculine.
Yeah. It's man. It's a whole push for it. As far as like something along the same lines, right? I seen a young lady. They use all types of names, but I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
They, them, you know. That's what they identify.
Yeah.
You know, as
transgender.
No. I think it was They was So they was a sister that was in the sisters. Like, I don't like to get into the terms, know, the L word and all them words, because everything, you know, shit be offending them, you know, and I never want to be offensive. I always want to be respectful, first and foremost. So it was a sister who
they like the same.
Sisters. Okay. Yeah. And I was going in the store, and I stopped and I held the door for her. And she flipped. Like, oh, you ain't got to hold it over me. You know, she like straight, and I'm like, hey, I said, check this out, beloved. I said, I was raised by my grandmothers and my aunts, and they taught me to open doors for women.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, if you got a JJ, I'm opening the door for you.
Yeah. But they will get
now, when you ain't got a JJ no more and a beard, and you know, I don't know, then you go, but you're not about to make me compromise my gentleman-like nature.
Some of them got invisible beards.
Look, they get real angry.
They got invisible beards.
Yeah, like they get angry with you. But you know what's interesting about that, brother? Because see, I have a sister. She identifies, you know, so I have an understanding that, like, you don't have to
dumb down my masculinity to prove that you
like pretty much I don't have to accept something for me to respect something that somebody else is on. However, I'm not going to compromise the expression of me
because you don't like it
because someone else is on something like that. But I'm always going to be respectful. I think the respectful piece is the biggest piece, because I'm not going to meet disrespect with disrespect. I'm going to meet disrespect with respect to a certain degree, because if I can always remove myself from a situation, then that's what I'm going to do, because wisdom is the ability to see beyond the obvious. And a lot of times in the moment, we're not able to see beyond the obvious. So whenever I interact with anybody who, you know, from any different walk of life, I'm not going to get into an argument with you.
I don't have to take this. I'm going home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just give peace, love, and respect to every individual that's human being that walked the earth, regardless of what they own. But, however, let's have a conversation. So if you bring something to me, we're going to have a conversation. You know, and I'm going to set some things straight. So when you interact with me and when I interact with you, there's a commonality of respect in there, regardless to my sex and your sex or your sexual preference.
All that because it's really we all human beings. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff is nonsense. You know, you ain't got to open the door for me. I mean, well, I might open the door for a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like elders and children.
I do open doors for men, too.
Elders and children. And I teach the young men, if a sister is going to the store and has her son with her, I say, hey, little brother, hold that door for your mother or your auntie or your sister. So I teach. And all of them listen. Like, I'm a stranger, but I'm like, hey, grab that door. You know, because people are not teaching this thing, you know, these things like walking with a woman on the inside of the sidewalk, you know. I seen a young brother going into the gas station one day. He go to baby mom behind him, baby in tow, everything. This dude flings the door open, walks in, just let the door close. I had to reach and hold it like this, like, go on here, little sister. And obviously he's not been taught. Part of the reason, just real quick, 2 of those gestures were established was to ensure the safety, the safe passage of the woman. So I'm going to open the door for you first because I'm checking to make sure the passage is clear for you so you can enter, queen. I'm going to open this door for you to the car. I'm going to have you on the inside of the sidewalk because if a car jumps the curb, I'm going to block it for you, baby. You see what I'm saying? I got you.
Yeah, we're going to
it's
protection.
So, yeah, exactly.
And we come in this space where women feel like
they are the most unprotected.
Well, they feel like they don't need to be protected in times too. Let's talk about it. But we gonna come back. Make sure y'all stay tuned.
Yeah.
Available to everybody. So this is that small project I did in mass, and if people apply themselves under my leadership, a lot of people gonna win. But I really need serious students, and it was just like I learned it was bigger than me when I started winning people cases, because there's nothing like another case. I was in the lunchroom and the warden them came surrounded me. I'm eating lunch with my guys, and he said, "Jermaine, I want to thank you." And he was like, "This lady just called our office crying. Her son won." And it was just like those little bitty moments.
Yo, we back with another TopTv. Back here with Rosh the Ruler, the Oasis 44. And we was just talking about, the mentality of thinking of people in general, women, men, but mainly we was talking about women at this time.
Yeah.
And just how the protection level is not where it used to be, where a man was put, he felt like that was his job to do that. Now it's like women saying like, well, I don't need your protection so much to speak.
Well, okay, let me add on to that.
What I'm looking at from my observation.
Okay, so let me camel back on that, my brother.
We always had women warriors and all that. I get it.
So check this out, right? The black woman, the women who identify as black in America are the most accessible women. That's why they are the most endangered women. So let me explain what I mean by this. Mm-hmm. The black woman is the most accessible woman due to there being no cultural or traditional construct. And this is what I mean by that, right? Right now, it's nighttime outside. You can go down the street and go in that corner store and you can bump into a black woman.
Right.
No matter what race of man you are,
mm-hmm.
you can go down the way on 55th, you go down in the flats. Right now, at any time of the day, no matter what race of man you are, and access a black woman. Either the game want to talk to her, hurt her, harm her, whatever.
Right.
You can't do that with no Asian.
Because they ain't in this community.
If I was into an Asian, if I wanted an Asian girl tonight, right now, from down there on 30th and Payne, I would not be able to go down on 30th and Payne and find her, because guess what? She's at home. Right. If I wanted an Arab Muslim woman, guess what? Right now, they're not outside. They're at home. If I wanted a Jewish, they're at home.
But Brother Roz,
they're at home. So watch this. Because within each one of these races, they have cultural constructs, right, that elevate the woman in some cases, right? But she's already in a state of mind like there's certain respect, certain things that I'm not going to do as a woman.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect myself and my culture and my household.
Yeah.
Now, because in some cases there's no man in the household, the black woman does have to leave the household to get money, to make a living.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's juxtapose that idea with this one, because there's always a negative and positive polarity to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so if the black woman is so accessible to every man of every walk of life, this increases the endangerment of them.
It increases
and
the vulnerability.
then when there is a wall of communication between the black man and the black woman, because guess what? She can tell you, oh, nigga, fuck you. I ain't trying to listen to all that stuff you kicking, man. And she go right outside with the homegirls, and the homegirls don't support that type of demo. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's women that help their friends cheat on their husbands and things of that nature, all types of wild stuff that takes place, because we have not been given a blueprint for how to manage our domestic affairs. That's why when a kid's father and a baby mama can't get along, the baby mama running down there to the European courts in order to settle a domestic dispute. Because what it needs to be is a group of elders in every community who are elevated in stature, right? Who are well respected. Their wisdom has been in action for many years. And guess what? No matter what the situation is, you go to them first before you go anywhere else. But then for this to be in place, we'd have to have some other type of things in place in our community that, hey, we just don't have right now. Because some people going to say, I ain't listening to them old motherfuckers, pardon my Spanish. I ain't listening to them old people about nothing. So it would come first from us being able to have that. Until we had that, there's always going to be the black woman being the most unprotected woman, because guess what? A lot of them just don't know. A lot of them have a lot of naivety. And as a man, you can't tell them that nowadays, because they'll call you sexist and all kind of other things.
They get into a whole bunch of different
because that's why they really now. But this is as a response to patriarchy and sexism in this country. But what they fail to realize is that sexism and patriarchy were not created by the black men that they feel they being oppressed or fucked around by. It was created by the people who created the whole system of racism. So that dynamic permeates damn near every interaction within the relationship between the black man and woman right now.
Speaking of culture and common customs, how does culture heritage shape your approach to wellness and healing? And are there specific practices from your background that you incorporate into your teaching, like what we was just talking about?
Well,
because that's one of them.
Yes, of course. So I've basically been blessed with enough time to have studied or had enough time to practice damn near every ism, osophy there is. So I've spent time as a Rastafarian, as a 5%er, as a Nation of Islam, as a Sunni Muslim, as part of the Hanafi Madhab. I've studied Buddhism. I went to the Native American ceremonies and services and things. So I've had enough experience in Jainism, Zoroastrianism, the gamut. And what I've done is I've called or deduced the best parts of each one of these systems, and I've incorporated it basically into how I see life, the lenses that I see my life through in the lives of others. So because of this, I see the synchronicity, I see the oneness. The word atonement is at one man.
Yeah.
So in order for one to atone, they have to become one with self. And in order to be one with anything else, you got to first become one with self. You got to first love self, understand self, have knowledge, wisdom, understanding of self. First and foremost, not just knowledge of self. You got to go from knowledge of self to wisdom of self, from wisdom of self to understanding of self.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's how I do. Like, I incorporate those things. It's not like one thing that I could say or like one thing that I may have took from this way of life or this religion. It's an eclectic gathering of things from each one of these.
In your view, how does spirituality intertwine with physical health, and what practices do you recommend those looking to explore in this connection?
So we have to look at the word spirit, or let's look at the word spiritual. So word spiritual, right, when you break it down, it's two words, spirit and ritual. Spirit comes from the Latin word spiritus or spirare, which means divine breath, holy breath, or the essence. Ritual comes from the word rite, R-I-T-E, like rite aid. People never ask, why is it R-I-T-E, not R-I-G-H-T? But that's a whole nother bill. So rite or ritual is signifying something that's done on a consistent basis, that's a custom or a tradition.
Yeah.
So if spirit means breath or divine breath, spiritual means what are those things that you do on a consistent basis to pay homage to that divine breath within your body. So the body is the matter. The body is the vessel. So if this divine breath is inside of the physical vessel, it's for the purpose of the physical vessel to pay homage to the divine breath, not the other way around. And so in all that I do, when I practice my breath work, when I practice breathing correctly, when I teach other people how to breathe correctly, I'm actually teaching them how to worship the divine within themselves. Because that's the divine. You just think about it. What is the one thing that you don't have to remind yourself to do? One of the functions is breathe. Imagine if the creative intelligence or the creative force that made the human body, that made us, would have said, hey, well, I'm going to let them remind themselves how to breathe. You see Negroes walking around falling out all day. I forgot to breathe. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You say, I got that one.
Yeah, I'm going to make that easy for y'all.
So the breath is it.
And then a lot of y'all want to take y'all breath away.
Yeah, take your breath. Be breathless.
You know,
be breathless. Exactly.
Throughout your 20 years of experience, what has been some of the biggest challenges you face in your journey, and how do you overcome them?
Man, being transparent, being authentic with myself, knowing when I done been a hypocrite, knowing when I done said something or did something that's contradictory, knowing when I done had emotional mismanagement, being honest with myself, because at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as a good Moor, as a good man. And so I never let any of my shortcomings where I may have lost control of my emotions, or my anger may have got the best of me, or I was negligent, or I may have did something out of naivety or anger or whatever it was. I don't let that define me. What I do is I get on my own ass. So I go back to that yoga mat. I go to meditation, and I get in meditation, and I do what's called medium mystic trance like meditation, which is used for behavior reprogramming. And basically what it is, it's a dynamic or a technique that's used in shadow work, and you go into the deepest trance like meditative state that you can through certain chants and certain hums and things of that nature. And you take yourself, whatever works for you. Some people hum, some people sing hymns, some people do chants. Well, it'll place you in a trance if it resonates with your body, you know. So you go into this trance and you replay whatever the scenario was, and you change your response to it. And I've stayed in meditation 30 minutes sometimes doing this type of work, 40 minutes. I think about the longest I've stayed in a meditation has been about 52 minutes. And this is straight sitting, not moving. When I get up, my legs is numb, my lower back is aching type of action. Because when I go in there for this type of work, like I go in there to really get down to it, because at the end of the day, I have to be able to rest well, no matter what my faults is, no matter what somebody think about me, because I may have did this incorrectly, or whatever the case is. I have to make it right with myself first before I make it right with anybody else. And so that's one of the techniques that I use, when it's real serious business.
What advice would you give somebody, you give to aspiring holistic healers or yoga teachers looking to make a difference in their community?
Be authentic, man. Like,
that's the number one rule tonight.
Be authentic. Give credit to where credit is due. Give credit to the ancestors who created the spiritual science of yoga. It was not created in India. It is not from China. They have a version of it. They have versions of it. But it comes from the Sudan. It comes from ancient melanated areas. It comes from here in America, in areas that were predominant melanated native aboriginal peoples. So do your research well, and pay respects to those who laid the foundation for us to even receive this spiritual science and use it. And another thing, this ain't no competition. Healers are not in competition. Healers come together and help each other like Voltron. That's how healers should
Healing
work.
is for the healing.
Yeah, healers come together. It ain't no, this person top Reiki this or top yoga this, man. Fuck all that, man. Kill
or
all that noise,
man.
man.
You trying to get popular, or you really trying to help people?
Yeah, like, man, you want the fame or you want the
you want
healing,
help.
man.
You want the healing of the nations.
Like, man, a lot of people, they let the fame go to their head.
Yeah,
and
overpowering
this ain't
the healing
about
of the
that.
nation.
Like this ain't about this. I'm in no competition. People ask, you got the best CMOS? No, brother, I got CMOS and it's effective. You got the best yoga class. Look, I know programs I've been doing for 10, 15 years, and I know they work. Yeah. What you think about this person? I don't think. Yeah. Because I don't think about nobody else in nobody else's program. I'm thinking about, man, I don't have that type of real estate in my mind to give away to that.
I ain't letting nobody rent no space.
You feel me?
We ain't letting nobody rent.
No, you know what I'm saying? But that authenticity, man, is the biggest piece, man. Because a person, what you see with Brother Sincere is what you get, man. When you see me off of social media, when you see me in the streets, if you pull up and say, Brother Sincere, I heard you did this. And if I did it, guess what? Even if it was righteous or unrighteous, I'm going to say I did it. You know what I'm saying? And we can get to it. Yeah. I'm not going to hide from nothing, man. Whether I was toxic in the past or whatever the hell I did, because that's all me. Yeah. I cannot be who I am today if it wasn't for that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I have to embrace all of that. And that's another key. You got to learn how to embrace your hells the same way you embrace your heavens. We love to embrace the accolades about ourselves, the good things about ourselves, our gifts about ourselves. Yeah. But what about that shadow self? Yeah, yeah. When you going to hug on that too? When you going to embrace that too? When you going to reveal that too?
Because that's a part of you.
That's a part of you.
That's a part of your makeup.
That's a part of you.
Like Michael Jackson say, it's just another part of me.
Man, you better look at that man in the mirror because I don't get. Listen, because you can meet 1,000 people and ask 1,000 people about Brother Sincere teaching. They each gonna tell you something different, and that's okay. Yeah, you said I'm okay with that.
Let me ask you this, Brother Sincere. How do you see the relationship between science and spirituality and healing, and can they both coexist harmoniously?
Harmoniously coexisting, spirituality and science. Okay, well, I'm an etymologist, so I always, man, we got to realize that the English language is only 6,000 years old because the European man is only 6,000. He's only been on the earth 6,000 years. So because the English language is only 6,000 years old, it's not an accurate language. In fact, it's a form of dyslexia. English is the only language to where you go from left to right. You think about Arabic, you go from right to left. Mandarin is right to left. All ancient languages form images and go from right to left. Mm-hmm. The only language on earth that doesn't do that is the European dialects and tongues, namely English. So when we deal with English, we have to be very specific. So now with that said, I'll answer the question like this. Science comes from the Latin root word sciere or sciere, S-C-I-R-E, which means to know. So when we hear somebody say something like, he got that down to a science, that's saying that he got the knowledge about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so science deals with knowledge. Science is about knowing. Science is not about faith or anything. Science is about knowing. So you can't have spirituality without science or science without spirituality. You see, we didn't separate the two. Somebody else separated the two, and then they renamed them, and they did the 3-card Motley Shuffle on us, and then they served it back to us. Mm-hmm. You feel me? You can't separate science from spirituality because scientifically speaking, you see, when we talk about the universe, when we talk about the cosmos, there's a scientific process that took place that brought things into existence. But what was the superior intelligence that enabled that science to begin that process? You see, so it's a one-on-one. You can talk about a big bang, but some had to be big to make it bang. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So the intelligence had to be big. It had to be bigger than the actual physical act.
Take me through there.
We going, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, we on the Rosh spaceship, my brother.
Hey, are there any testimonies or feedbacks from your client that particularly resonate with you? And how does it feel to be a catalyst for the healing?
Yeah. So many to name, but some stick out to me. Had a young man beefing with his baby mama, and it almost led to a high-level domestic dispute. And he remembered to be silent leave, go for a walk, take some breaths.
Mm-hmm.
And I had told him that. And then recently, I was out walking my dog, and a young man was walking towards me, like, past, so I get my dog, because my dog be on that type of time.
Yeah.
And he walked past me, and he stopped. And he said, "Hey, OG." Look, that's how. That's when you know you got their age, when they be calling you school and OG. And you ain't even said nothing. Right. He said, "Hey, OG." I started telling him, like, "Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, man, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "Man, how you deal with it if you think like a girl been ghosting you?" And so I could tell from the situation what probably happened. He done came over here to see a little honey and see that, because he was walking down the street on his phone and, looking
where she at?
Sad or whatnot. And, I basically told him, I say, at first I started to pop some real, but then I'm like, no, I ain't going to do that. But I ain't going to give him no stick of dynamite.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give him a firecracker, right? Mm-hmm. I said, well, this is a thing, brother. Know that your time, your energy, your attention are valuable. Yeah. Your physical presence is valuable. Everything about you is valuable. Mm-hmm. Spending time with you is valuable. You have value and you have worth. And you have value and you have worth because you see yourself as royalty. Yeah. I said it's all based.
Didn't even make it about the woman.
Yourself. I didn't even make it about the woman. I didn't want to make it about the woman because if he understands that he himself has value, like self-esteem. When people say low self-esteem, what people don't know, etymology, the word esteem comes from the Latin word amor, which means love. So a person say they got low self-esteem, they saying they got low self-love. So now I would say, why do you have low self-love? Mm-hmm. That's the issue. Mm-hmm. Not her ghosting. She ghosted because you ain't had that energy.
Yeah.
Had you came with that energy, like, hey, look, brother, you there or not, I'm going to keep it moving on you. She wasn't. You see what I'm saying? And he was.
You gotta have love for oneself.
Exactly. And he was just like, he just stood there for a minute. He was like, good looking, OG. And look, he stood his head up the way. He put his phone in his pocket and he bopped off to his kiss eye.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's what a lot of information don't be it's not being translated to the youth. Mm-hmm. Or some of these adults out here, they still in their feelings about others loving them when they should be in their feelings about loving themselves.
Yeah, that's where it begins, with self-love.
In your opinion, what is the future of holistic health and wellness, and how do you envision the evolution of the practice like yoga and herbalism and in the mainstream culture?
Well, so some years ago, I started I took my show on the road, and I went and spent some time in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Atlanta has a beautiful, holistic scene. I mean, look, it's hundreds of vegan restaurants, herbal shops. I ain't gonna say it's 1,000 people down there like me. It's not, but there is a plethora. There's a nice amount of individuals, men and women, elder and younger, that's on this type of science. And so what I'm seeing up north, especially in like Cleveland, is having a slow burn, a slow start, but it's definitely getting there. And I'll be glad when it's like a couple of more brothers, sincere teachers up here. There's some beautiful brothers doing some beautiful work, brother. Indigo 9 on Instagram. The brother with the trap yoga, Brother Lynch. Go check him out with the trap yoga. Yeah. We got some brothers that's definitely up here putting it down, doing their thing on the health and wellness side. And I'm looking to see more. I'm really looking to see more in the space with men. You know what I'm saying? Because now, like, the women got it going on. Like, the women, man, it's several sisters that's putting it down on the health and wellness demo in the city, and they coming together. The women is coming together. They doing retreats. They doing healing from trauma, healing from drama. They coming together. They getting it together. They got the spaces, the places, Look, you got your sister Nisa with the beads. She got the health and wellness walks, the hikes. Like it's some sisters putting it down. The brothers, the men got to get it together, man. We need that collective. We got brothers who meet up at Ghetto Therapy. Shout out to Walter Patton.
Shout out to Walter Patton.
Ghetto
Free
Therapy.
Thinker Walk.
Yeah, Free Thinking Walk. Good health and wellness every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And he has a men's night. You know what I'm saying? But we need more. We need to keep on adding on. Just keep on adding on. Look, any man that's in the healing space, like, don't, man, get out your ego, get out all of that, whatever, man, and come together, man. Like, we can come together as men, as healers. We more powerful. Whatever you bring to the table.
For sure. Can you share some personal self-care practices that everyone can benefit from? And how do you recharge your own spiritual energy? I think we touched on that.
Yeah, but that's more really going into like the personal side, like what would be like a regimen. Something I make sure that I'm gonna get in, no matter where my head is at, where my mind at, what's going on in my life, is 11-minute meditation, man.
Every day.
Man, every day, man.
Gotta do it.
11 minutes, even if you break it up. Sometimes I might break it up. 5, and 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like, let me just chill for a minute.
Throughout the day.
Throughout the day. And make sure you decompress. At the end of your day, make sure you decompress. You should never go to bed tired. You should never go to bed as soon as you hit the bed. You should never go to sleep as soon as you hit the bed. You know what I'm saying? You should have enough time to ease yourself into sleep. Mm-hmm. Man, and while we're talking about this, let me throw this piece of science out there. Is that there is... you have a yin and a yang nostril. You have a right and a left. You have a lunar and a solar, right? So you got to watch how you sleep. The left is solar, the right is lunar. You want to sleep to where the cool air, because one cools the air coming in, one heats it up. You want the air to be cool because the coolness of the air cools the brain, which releases melatonin, which eases you off into your sleep. If you sleep on your stomach, you see what I'm saying? Don't sleep on your stomach. You know, it's bad for the back, and don't sleep too much. Bruce Lee said too much sleep makes the bones weak. You know, so yeah, those are some personal practices that a person could do on the daily to improve their health and wellness.
Let me ask you this. What does it mean to live as a yogic lifestyle beyond physical posture, and how can someone embody yoga in their everyday action?
Oh, good question. So the term yogi is used to designate one who has been either certified or taught by a spiritual preceptor, and they know it well enough. The yogic practices, not just postures, but scriptures as well. You see, but because
it ain't all about stretching.
That's right. The philosophy of yoga as well. You see what I'm saying? That has to be understood as well. Because for a long time, postures weren't given. You were given the philosophy first.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the word philosophy means for the love of wisdom. Philos, Sophia, or Sophique. The love of the wisdom of the yogic practice. The word yoga, yo means the yoga means together. So it's about you being able to integrate your mind, your body, your spiritual emotions into harmony. But then once you get that in alignment and those in harmony within self, now how do you interact and show up in the world that mimics that same harmony that you have inside of you? You see what I'm saying? That's what yoga is. That's the integration. That in your life, you're striving to make everything harmonious. You see, because if it's not harmonious, it's harmful.
Facts. Big facts. In today's fast-paced world, many struggle with stress and anxiety. What holistic strategies do you recommend for managing these feelings?
You know, right now, especially with everything that's taking place in the government, you know, people is really struggling, you know, and it's hard to tell a mother or father or guardian to think positive and take some deep breaths when they looking at their children being hungry.
Yeah.
You feel me? However, what I'm also realizing is that pessimism is a symptom of traumatic experiences. Most people who are pessimistic meaning looking for the most negative outcome to a situation, is produced by trauma. Optimism, having the most optimistic or
opens you up to opportunities.
Outlook. That's right. The optimism comes as you heal from a healed place. Okay? Because you no longer want to look for the worst or something.
Man, this ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't going. Then when you should be speaking your breath into life, and that boomerangs back to you.
That's right. Because whatever you speak, you got to realize that the trillion cells that make up your body is hearing that.
Yeah.
And they're going to respond. That's why do you think Muhammad Ali, people didn't understand Muhammad Ali had a science. He talked so much shit. By the time he got in the ring, it had affected the cellular composition of his opponent. He had the science, and it affected his cellular composition because it picked up on
it.
It
ignited his cellular composition.
Exactly. Every cell in him was like, man, we about to best this dude. And when they showed fear, they cellular composition said, man, he about to knock me out.
Yep.
You see.
Hey, finally, what legacy do you hope to leave in the field of holistic healing and in the lives of those you mentored?
So check this out. When I physically transition, I don't want no adults at my funeral, right? I don't want no adults come with all the fake 50-50 halfway energy who really didn't deal with me. Let the baby speak for me. Bring the youth up. Let the youth speak. Let my sons speak. That's who I want to come. I want my sons to speak on my behalf. I want the youth to speak on my behalf because I'm going to die empty. And what I mean by that, I'm going to make sure that by the time I transition, everything that I've learned that's of value is going to be given or passed on to someone that's still here. Yes, so the legacy that I'm leading, that I want to leave at the end of the day, is that the black babies and the youth in the community be like, you know what? That dude right there had a love for the babies and for the youth, and he gave me something that I was able to use later on in life to make my life better. You see what I'm saying? The adults, they cool. You know, I chop it and I build with adults and whatnot. That's one thing. But like the old saying go, when you teach something to an adult, it's like writing on water. When you teach something to a child, it's like etching it in the stone. You know, so by extension, it said when you educate a man, you educate an individual. When you educate a woman, you educate a whole generation because the babies come from the womb of the woman. So I'm more concerned with what's coming out of the wombs of these women and what's in their mental womb, right? Also the men, but the men, what I want to deal with brothers is that we got to heal, man. We can't build until we heal because that poison gonna spill off into everything that we do.
Because guess what? That seed come from out that man. So if it's a poisonous seed going into a womb, then it's gonna come out that portal like that.
Okay. So listen, we're in a space, in a place right now to where black men are coming up out of a stupor, getting into an enlightenment. Okay? But until we get there at a larger number collectively, right? Yeah. We got to focus on these babies.
We got to focus, man.
It's like doing triage. You go to the most needed part first, that's going to bring about death. And that will surely bring about our death, not protecting, providing, and educating these babies in the community.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming out, dropping them jewels, man.
I appreciate you.
Everything you done talked about today is very enlightening. And I'm pretty sure that the audience is going to take a lot away from this interview that we just did today, man.
I hope so. I will so.
And what day is the Oasis opening?
So I'm looking at the grand opening mid-January. Donations. Look, check this out. Donations are welcome. There could be no revolution without revenue. I'm telling you. Come through. You can do material or monetary donations. Hit me up on social media at Rosh the Ruler on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. If you want to come do some artwork on my space, feel free to do it. You want to come and drop off some yoga mats, chairs, anything like that, come through, holla at me, man. And it's going to be a space and a place for everybody in the community, regardless of race, color, creed, nationality, sexuality, all of that, regardless of any of that.
Come one, come all.
Come one, come all. You hear me? Come as you are, star.